Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Marie here from Crafty Landing, and I'm here today to share with you my new journal. Very eclectic, vintagey, very out of my comfort zone. I don't know about you guys, if you're ever free with your crafting and just go with the flow and see what happens and where it takes you. I find that really hard. And when it comes to journals and things, I am much better using a kit because I know it's all going to be cohesive. So the colours will be matching, the theme will be matching, the images will be matching. I'm very much like that. So making this one was way out of my comfort zone. But do you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've been following somebody called Penny and Rose on YouTube for a while now. I don't know what her Christian name is, I'm sorry, but she's known as Penny and Rose. She's also on Instagram. And her journals are just beautiful. And every time I watch her do flip throughs, I'm in awe. And she inspires me so much that I've recently plucked up the courage to just come up to my craft space and just do it. Just do a journal that uses lots of different papers, lots of different items, not from one set or this set or just whatever I've got at hand. That's why it's very eclectic. And I'm so pleased I did because it's turned out lovely. And here she is. It's Traveler's Notebook size. So the cover is, let's do inches. The cover is just over about 8¼ 8½ high, and it's about 5 inches wide. So traveler notebook size, I would say. And the cover is made from one of my collage boards. A little while ago, I watched Artie Mays make her collage boards out of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, and I'm a scrapbooker, so I have lots of 12 by 12, and I just used her idea and I stuck down a whole load of scraps with watered down PVA and then just left them to dry. My intention was to use them in sections and make tags or journal cards, stamp, gesso, whatever on them, add a bit more interest to them. But when they dried, they're actually quite stiff, and so a bit thick. So I was a bit worried for using them as tags because it would have been very thick and bulky. So I've just left them alone for a little while, unsure of what to do with them. But then deciding to do an eclectic journal like this, the masterballs, the collage masterballs, were just perfect for the cover. Might have been too stiff for tags and journaling cards, but for the cover it was perfect. So this is the one I used. I'd stamped and gessoed in bits and in places and did other bits and pieces, and you can see where I've cut it out from my 12 by 12, and it has come out perfect. I'm so thrilled with it. Look, I've added some fabric down the side edgings where I've put my eyelet through for extra durability really and stability, and I've also put fabric down the middle, the spine, because often when you collage and then bend it, fold it, it can crack at the spine or at the fold. So I've covered that in fabric and sewn it down to help support that spine part as well. So I'm just really thrilled. And then at the front, I just layered up with a little bit more clustering, an embossed card here, a Tim Holtz flower die and some ruffle fabric and the word journal, the title journal, and I am just really thrilled with it. Doing the collage in watered down PVA has also helped it be a cover because it's kind of sealed it, so it's protected it, it's given it a bit of a seal, a coating, so I'm really thrilled. And as you can see, it's rather chunky. I love it. So shall we have a look? The papers that I've used, some of the papers are from Roxy Creations, her new Printables antique pages, and I've used kit 3. And they are based on wallpaper, vintage wallpaper styles, and they are beautiful. And you will see, because as soon as I open the journal, there is a vintage wallpaper digital there from Roxy Creations. It's beautiful, isn't it? And the front page also has one, and I've just layered up a bit of a cluster here with a Tim Holtz butterfly and different bits of her wallpaper, Roxy Creations wallpaper, just bits of scraps that I had left, and a fabric ruffle there for a bit of interest. And I'm finding the pages in this journal very tactile. I just want to touch and stroke things because of the fabric, because of the clusters, because of the loose threads where I've done lots of sewing and left the threads free. It's just very tactile. I keep touching things. So I'm really surprised about that, and I love it. On this page, oh, that's meant to be in there. Sorry, guys. That goes in there like that. Right, so this page, I've got a bit of a cluster going on for my tuck spot, bit of sewing down here. And you already had a little sneaky peek. Behind the tuck spot is this journaling card here, which I've made by layering up some bits of paper, bits of Roxy Creators wallpaper and any scraps I had lying around. Embossed this card here. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera, but that's just lovely. Again, makes you want to touch it. It's very tactile. And a little bit of cluster here of Tim Holtz flower from his ephemera kits, and some bits from my own stash. So that just gets tucked in there. And when you have bits peeking out like this, it naturally draws your eye there. So your brain is already thinking, oh, what is it? What is it? And it makes you want to look closer and have and pull things out to see what it is. So I love that. I love the idea of having things peeking through. This page is a old page from a recipe book, a cookbook. So there was plain down here. So I've just made this into a pocket, a little thin pocket, which I've slid a tag into with some music paper and a bit of a fabric top going on there, and that just slides in there, a bit of a cluster. On this side, oh look, it's done it again, that's meant to be up there. On this side, I've just left a journaling spot here, an upside down pocket. I love these upside down pocket ideas. I've clustered some stamps and some vintage ephemera there, and this, I love this blue trim. Gosh, isn't that gorgeous? That is so gorgeous. And the upside down pockets are the pockets at the top here, so you pull the tag out from underneath. And it's another one that I've made, fabric ruffle down here, bits of the wallpaper, and the words "be happy always" backed onto tea stained paper, so it's ready for journaling. Simple but effective, and I've sewn all the way around the edge. I love that, and it just goes up like that and together. So you've got a bit of the embossed card here from the one before, and your bit of journaling spot, and all these loose threads from the sewing, the ribbon here, the fabric ruffle. It's just lovely. It just like feels and looks aesthetically pleasing. It's just lovely. And on this side of the page is the French blue wallpaper from Roxy Creations. So I double backed this one, double printed it, so that wallpaper on that side and the French blue on the other side. And I've just done a little cluster here with more fabric and a plain journaling spot there, so you can do a bit. Let me get my pencil. So you can do a bit of journaling there on that spot there. Here I have a tea stained page for journaling, and I've just with a paper clip added an old torn bit of receipt ledger there, an Artie Mays journaling card, and a Tim Holtz Victorian lady image photograph there, and they just get clipped onto the page like that. And a fabric ruffle at the top. I love the ruffles poking out at the top. The fabric tabs and things, gorgeous. The back of the tea stained page there. These pieces, stamped images onto coffee stained paper, are from chapter 1 inspiration boxes. I was lucky enough to get 2. They released one last summer, and they've recently done another one, and I was lucky to get 2. And these were in the chapter 1 boxes, so I've just sewn that across with the tab at the top, which kind of hides the journaling space, so you can journal there, but it will be hidden when you close those down. And of course you actually could journal on the back of those as well. So that's just sewn onto there, and music page here, and I've folded up the bottom to make a pocket. So I've just done a cluster there, Tim Holtz butterfly, and I've just included a modern journaling card called My Story. So do you see what I mean about Eclectic? You can mix the vintage with the more modern. I just love it. I'm going to do more like this. I've just really been enjoying doing this one. And another journaling spot there on the back of the music paper. This is a magazine page from an old magazine, and I've turned it over to make a pocket, stuck some of Roxy Creations wallpaper on there. That's meant to be in there like that. Let me just pop that back in there. And I've sewn onto the pocket a little tag here with a Victorian image of a little girl there. Can you see that? And I just layered up the tag and then stuck the little girl's photo on the top. And inside the pocket, we've got a Coca-Cola receipt leisure type thing, and also a luggage label. So you can journal on the back of both of those. And tea stain paper here to journal on, a nice ribbon ruffle, and some more of Roxy Creations wallpaper. Just a bit of interest to the page then, so it breaks the paper, the plain paper up. And on this side, I've done a bit of a tuck spot here, Victorian lady and child, and I've sewn it across two edges so that leaves the rest open for a tuck spot, and I've just included a little envelope there. So that gets put under there like that, and I've added some Artie Mae's little ephemera pieces there to make the cluster. Paper bag, so you can pop things in there. Ledger paper, which came from the chapter 1 box, and I've just added a bit of ephemera there and a ruffle, again for a bit of texture and a bit of interest. Ledger paper. Now this is beautiful. This is antique map, and it's on thickish paper, and the colour tones where it's just aged naturally, it's beautiful. And I don't know if you can see, but it's almost like canvas. It's got kind of like an effect. If I scratch it, it's not smooth, it's almost like canvas, but you are able to write on that. So it's map on the front, but you can journal on the back. It's just gorgeous. This is from a botanical poem book. There's a little poem there, and you can journal on that side. French script, digital paper, and I've just added some strips of the wallpaper and Artie Mae's digital paper here, and a Tim Holtz flower. And I've stuck some fabric down. I haven't just done fabric ruffles, I've added bits of fabric as well and just stuck them down, and it's so soft and you just want to smooth and touch it. Pink ledger paper here, that's a digital. I've forgotten where I got that from, I'm sorry, but it's lovely tone of pink, and I've tea stained it. And I've got a little collection of ephemera here. We've got like an old tea card and a cigarette card, if you remember those. Tim Holtz alphabet ephemera, and underneath the tuck I've got, this is very old, this is K&Co Scrapbook Company. It's one of their old journal cards, and I don't know if you can see, but it's got bits of there we are, it's got bits of gold in it. And I just love, this is my favourite spread, I think, from the whole journal. I just love the way this looks when it's open. These side by side, I just love it. I just really love it. This wallpaper here from the Roxy Creations Kit 3 looks gorgeous, isn't it? And I've just added a bit of fabric ruffle down there. And this that I've paper clipped to the top is an idea from Penny and Rose. Do go and check out Penny and Rose on YouTube. As I say, her journals are beautiful. And she makes these like little picture frames really, and I've just included a image of a little girl sitting posing on her chair, and that just goes in there like that. And I've paper clipped it to the top of the page like that. Tea stained on the back, pieces of paper to journal on from the chapter 1 inspiration box, tea stained paper that I do myself. I tea stain all my paper, and a bit of fabric here and wallpaper trim down the edge, bit of interest to the plain page. And my centre spread is a page from a gardening book, and these are the China pink tulips, and it's just beautiful, bright and lovely, and it's May. And this journal, kind of the colours kind of give it a spring feel, pastel colours, butterflies, the florals. It does have a spring feel about it, so including this one I just thought went perfectly. So the month of May, and they are pink tulips. So that's my centre spread. Tea stain paper, again the wallpaper strip and a bit of fabric for interest, and a fabric tab sewn at the top. More paper to journal on, more journaling space, and here again another upside down pocket with a bit of clustering going on. A typewriter there, an old style typewriter. And again I have another journal tag layered up with different bits of paper. That's Artie May's, that's an embossed bit of card from by Stash. I got my embossing machine out. The word today, and a fabric ruffle, tea stain on the back for journaling, sewn around the edge, and it just neat, look at that wallpaper, and it just lovely and neatly slides up in there. Tea stain paper, fabric, the back of that ledger paper, pretty isn't it, very pink tone as well. And this is that French script digital paper, which I folded over to make this tuck spot here, and I've sewn some numbered vintage tags on there, which you could journal or stick tiny photographs on the back. They're sewn onto there, and underneath the tuck I've included an old shop receipt, again this is a digital one, and a journaling card, and they just get held in place underneath that tuck there with the paper clip. And on this side I've stuck a Tim Holtz floral die down there, but I've only glued it down the edge there and across the bottom edge there, which then leaves the rest free for a tuck spot. And I've got this butterfly journal card here, so that just gets tucked in there. So it's a nice addition to your page, just a lovely little tuck spot. That's the poem from the botanical book, and that's the underside of the vintage map with some blue ruffle trim there, fabric trim. It's just gorgeous, and look, even the page now is starting to thread because it's so old. I just love it. Postcard. This gentleman here isn't holding his umbrella over himself, he's holding it over his prized cello. I love it. An old postcard on the back of this ledger paper here. Lots of room for journaling. That has a blue tinge to it, that ledger paper. And that just paper clipped on there. The other side of that paper bag, which I've trimmed off the end so you can pop things in there, acts as a pocket. And another cluster tuck spot with a more modern journaling card, but a vintage looking tuck spot. So I love the way the modern marries with the vintage, and there's some wallpaper scraps down here that I had left over, and the fabric topper, a nice big ribbon ruffle on the wallpaper, and some journaling space. That's the magazine, so quite dark, so I've just added some paper for a journal spot there, and that's a vellum sticker, old cinema admission ticket, and some fabric ruffle there, and that's the magazine. Look at this music, it's gorgeous. Whoever owned this music paper has written notes on, and I haven't rubbed them off. I wanted to leave it authentic. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there are some notes written in pencil. I just wonder who that person was, where they were, when it was. It's like a piece of history, isn't it? A real person wrote that, and they obviously enjoyed their music. It's lovely, isn't it? I just love things like that. Piece of history. Cluster on the pocket, and I've included a luggage tag and a journaling card in there. And again, some scraps of paper, nice pretty border punch, and this is paper bag that's been embossed, part of a paper bag. I love the sound. crinkle, and it's been embossed, sewn on with the tabs that you can do some hidden journaling underneath, or tear those off and use them somewhere else in the journal if you want. Tea stain paper journaling, more wallpaper, that side's beautiful as well, and I folded the extra bit over to create a pocket here, sewn around that pocket, added some ribbon ruffle and a ribbon tab to the Artie Mays butterfly bookmark tag. So that's from Artie Mays, and I've backed it and it just fits lovely in that pocket there. And on this side, where I sewed the pocket together, I also sewed this shop receipt thing to this page, so this is supported in place, and you can do some journaling in here, so it's extra journaling space. So that's on there, and I've just included an envelope, an airmail envelope, and a paper clip holds it all together. And that's that recipe page, a little bit of clustering going on there. Another Tim Holtz butterfly used on some scraps of paper, and an Artie Mays ephemera piece. And there's that picture on the other side of the old recipe. It's lovely, isn't it? And this here, my husband collects first day cover Royal Mail stamp covers, and this is from 1977, and it's the a genuine envelope, and inside I've just slit the top off to include another envelope which was gifted to me as part of a stationery set from Secret Santa, and I've just added a blue fabric ruffle there, and the envelope is lined with tissue. It's lovely, isn't it? And they're so slimline, I love them. They're just perfect for traveller notebook size journals, and that just gets popped in there like that inside the genuine envelope from the Royal Mail first day covers, 1977 this one. And that's the other side of the wallpaper and the inside of the back cover. So yep, there it is, my Eclectic vintage journal. She is for sale in my Etsy shop, which is Crafty Landing Makes. So if you're interested in owning her, pop over, have a look, or private message me on Facebook, Crafty Landing Marie, and she could belong to you. I just love her. She's beautiful, isn't she? Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye.